You too can be a scientist. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Hello everyone, SemiRetiredBob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today we're going to talk about being a scientist and exploring different things. We've all heard the phrase N=1 experiment. We're going to dive into that just a little bit deeper. First, let me say welcome. If this is your first time here, I'm very glad you're here. 15 months ago, I couldn't do this. Now, I'm out here walking every day, doing my own yard work, cutting my own grass, working out at the Y 4 days a week, doing push-ups and wall pull-ups and leg lifts and stretching and all sorts of stuff. 15 months ago, I could barely stand for more than 2 to 2.5 minutes without severe pain. I'm just trying to show you that it's never too late to change your life. I'm 60 years old. I started this way of life the day before my 59th birthday. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Well, let's talk about this. What does it mean, an N=1 experiment? That just means that you have an experiment with one subject. Mostly, it's yourself. Do this experiment on yourself. What experiment, you say, Bob? All of the experiments that have to do with your health, what's proper for you to eat, everything. Now, the speaker at the conference that went over this, I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but she had a full 40-minute talk on this, and I'm going to try and condense this down into a 5 to 7 minute video. But basically, don't get so locked in on what you're doing today that you're afraid to do some experiments on yourself tomorrow. And what that means is, like in my case, I went along just great doing the lion diet. Started off carnivore, went to the lion diet, did that for pretty much 9 months straight. And since I've gotten home, I've been trying little experiments here and there. Everybody kind of freaked out when I did the little keto chow experiment, but I've discovered that that's something I can have if I want to. Certainly not every day, certainly not even every week, but it's something I can have if I want to. And it's nice to know that, because it doesn't hurt. Oh, now there's a loud truck in this direction, a tree service truck. Let's give it a minute to see which way he goes. Okay, now that truck is on past. Where was I? Yeah, I've done some experiments on myself. Now, I was talking about the keto chow stuff. Yes, it's not something you want to use every day or every week, but I'm assuming at some point in the future, I'm going to have some dental surgery, because I got a tooth back here. It's been broken for ages, but it doesn't hurt. But I assume at some point, the right little piece of it's going to break off and it's going to expose the nerve, and then that's going to make it hurt. And at that point, I'm going to have to get something done. And I don't want to get stuck grinding steak up in a blender and drinking a ribeye every day for a week or two. But any of the little experiments that you can do on yourself, like right now I'm playing around with cold therapy, just by trying to extend the amount of time that I can stand to take a cold shower to start the day. And I have a few other little experiments going on that we'll talk about at some point, but it can be any kind of an experiment, whether it be a type of exercise or something you're eating or something you haven't been eating that you're going to add back in. There's a lot of these N=1 experiments that you won't know about until you try. But you're never going to know unless you try. And, it wraps up the whole package of not being dogmatic. The whole, oh, you can't have that, that's not carnivore. Or you can't have that, that's not on the lion diet. Well, have the courage to experiment a little bit. Now, if you're cruising along, getting all the results you want, and you're still feeling great, there's no reason to jump in and experiment. But as I've always said, just eat the meat and the fat, add the salt, drink the water, will get you 90 to 95% of where you want to be. But this is for everybody in that last 5 to 10%. As many of you have found out, that last 5 to 10% can be a long, exhausting process of trying to figure stuff out. So don't be afraid to be your own scientist, because nobody is going to care about you more than you. Not your doctor, not your favorite YouTube star, or even your favorite idiot old man that you watch on YouTube. Nobody's going to be more invested in seeing you get healthy than you. So you have to be willing to take some action if you need it. It's really humid today, and I need to keep doing more stuff out in the humidity, even though my land in Texas is going to be dry. When I go to do the Appalachian Trail, basically 2 years from now, I need to be more accustomed to humidity, because that wasn't walking very far. That was only, about a 10-minute walk. And the humidity is really tough to walk in. So, I guess I'm saying that's what I've got for you today, folks. Just be your own scientist, be your own cheerleader. Don't be afraid to try stuff. Because, adding, not that you would ever do this, but, adding a donut every day for 30 days, you'll probably end up feeling bad about that. It's gonna make something hurt, and then you'll know that you can't have a donut every day for 30 days. Then you get back to baseline, but maybe you're one of these people that does slightly better with a dill pickle or two with each meal. You won't know that unless you try it. Now, I'm not advocating for plants. I'm not advocating that you break the carnivore lifestyle. But, cheese. You might be one of these people that cheese actually helps you instead of hurting you. You won't know until you try these things, folks. But like I said, this is all for the final 5 to 10%. That's what I've got for you today, folks. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.